real pay out large sums for rare artifacts. The artifacts themselves could be anything. Most of the time they come as weapons, gems, or some kind of unique apparel. Nell, my hovering robotic companion, had picked up this bounty several days ago and informed me first about it this morning. It was high risk, high reward. I'm sure if I had asked the others, they would have said no. Of course, had I told them, it would have meant a smaller cut for me. Artifacts can be traded for real-world money, but we were under contract from Keen Industries. In return for service, they give us food, shelter, and a small allowance. Death means restarting at level 1, rebuilding your avatar, losing all your equipment, powers, upgrades, etc. Being a corpse diver is a dangerous job, the kind that most players stay away from. We were deep inside the shell of an old-world seed ship called the Lockhead. Looked like it had been derelict for some time before making its way this close to Alpha Centauri A. They were on the wrong side of the system, but that was all a part of Bane's lore. Humanity had fled Earth sometime in the late 21st century after discovering what they called a world gate near the edge of our solar system. They found themselves stranded. Because of a malfunction in the world gate, once they passed through, they could never return back. Not to mention, it was unknown whether the gate would bring them back to Earth at all. The colonists believed that while they had been trapped inside the gate, the malfunction had caused them to diverge from Earth's timeline by over 30,000 years. Emerging from their time capsule, it wasn't long before they discovered one habitable world and set up a base camp, built over the top of alien ruins. They called it the Spire. Human and alien technology merged as new technologies developed, allowing us to extend our reach across the landscape and towards the stars. It was at the Spire humanity discovered an alien species called the Brose-Chells, aka Chells for short. That time of discovery soon led to an age of rebellion, as colonists abandoned the Spire and sought shelter elsewhere. The discovery of a second world gate led to the discovery of a third and fourth, and so on until 76 quadrants had been identified. The game itself picks up 300 years later. Humanity, aided by the Chells in an effort for both species to survive, are mapping out all 76 quadrants, or levels, and christened a newly discovered number 77 the Cold Zone. Many things about Bane made the world feel post-apocalyptic. For one, all our worlds were in ruins. There were guardians to keep the peace, but most of the zones were filled with pirates, also called raiders or marauders, and smugglers. Backwater worlds traded with the Spire, which acted as the hub of the entire game. Alpha Centauri was as far away from the Spire as I could go without being stranded, and I had to use a hack to get my dropship as far as I had. It was somewhere just between the 5th and 6th quadrant. I was good at the game, but I wasn't the best. So far, Bane had a player count around 4 million, but sometimes it felt like everyone on the planet was playing. I wasn't here to play games. This quest was off the record, and I wouldn't have a team coming to back me up anytime soon. I was getting tired of basic fetch quests and fighting low-level monsters. I needed to start making a name for myself if I was going to continue leveling up. "Are you really going to quit?" asked Nell. Nell was neither a man nor woman, but would take on the persona of a female more often than not. At the moment, she sounded like she was in shock at the idea. "Where did you hear that?" "Cass was telling me about it." "I thought you weren't supposed to spill secrets?" "I was never asked to keep it secret," Nell responded. "I've thought about it. I don't want to live as an indentured servant forever. There is more out there, more to this world than the real world I want," I replied, focusing ahead. "Are you planning to apply for a position with another cruiser?" "No, I want my own," I replied, and felt happy at the thought. "With the amount of allowance you gain from bounties, that would take you 347 years of saving. And that does not account for any inflation or—" "Enough, I know," I said, cutting Nell off before she went on about how having my own starship and crew and running my own guild was next to impossible. "A kid can dream." "Dreams are useless. If you plan on selling the artifact from this bounty yourself..."